Hello students, in the last session we have discussed about Babcock and Wilcock boiler, its construction and working. So today we will move further and we will be discussing in detail one more type of boiler, that is Lancashire boiler. So in this session I will be covering about a Lancashire boiler, its construction, working, boiler mountings and boiler accessories. So what are boiler mountings? What are different type of boiler mountings, and what are accessories, and what are different type of accessories. So coming to the Lancashire boiler. So first part I will be discussing about the construction. So if you observe the figure, so here three figures are drawn. So three figures are nothing but representing only one type of boiler, that is Lancashire boiler. So it is representing the one type of boiler, that is Lancashire boiler. So this view is called as front view. Bottom one what I have drawn is called the top view. The side the view what I have drawn is called as side view. So three views are drawn. So that is top view, front view and side view. So why we want three views? So if you want to study the construction and working, so if three views are there, so then the easiness is there in understanding the concept. So front view is what, if I take an object, so if you consider this as an object, if I look from the front, what I get is the front view. If I look from the top, what I get is called top view. If I look from the same object from the side, what I get is the side view. That is about the front view. This is the front view, and this is the top view, and this is the side view. So three views, it represents only the same type of boiler, that is Lancashire boiler. So then Lancashire boiler is fire tube, stationary, internally fired, natural circulation type of boiler. So fire tube, so inside this is a tube. So in the previous session we had discussed in the classification water tube boiler and fire tube boiler. So water tube boiler is one in which water will be circulated inside the tubes. Fire tube boiler is one where hot gases or hot flue gases will be circulated. So here inside the tube, this is the tubes where hot gases will be moving. So it is a fire tube. Once again, horizontally axis is horizontal, so horizontal type. Firing is done inside. You can see this is the furnace grate. So where firing is done inside the boiler shell. So internally fired, stationary, it will be fixed, stationary, and then natural circulation. So water circulation, we are not using externally any pump. So naturally water will be filled inside the boiler shell, and then after it gets evaporated, once again refilling will be done. So it is fire tube, horizontal, stationary, and that is stationary type of boiler. So coming to the construction. So construction is nothing but what are different parts this particular boiler has got, and what is the function of each individual parts. So if you observe this figure, so this is the boiler shell or boiler drum. So this is the boiler shell or boiler drum. So these are the nothing but the brick lining. So it is stationary. So we will be having brick lining on both ends. So boiler shell will be placed horizontally. So this is safety valve. So safety valve. So to ensure safety of the boiler, and this is steam stop valve. So to extract the steam that is generated from the boiler, this is the manhole opening. You can see the opening, that is called as the manhole. Function is that open and a person can get inside and clean the boiler shell. So for cleaning purpose. Then this is the boiler drum, or we can call it as a boiler shell. So this is the tube inside the boiler shell. So this tube will be almost 0.4 times of the entire diameter of the boiler drum. This is the boiler, that is tube. So these are called as furnace grates. So in case of Babcock and Wilcock boiler, so chain grate was there on which the hopper was there where coal was filled. So this is, you can observe this inside. So this is the furnace grate, and this is the furnace this door. So door of the furnace, and then you can see this is a valve is there, blow off valve. So blow off valve. So a valve at the bottom surface of the, that is your boiler shell. So blow off valve, that is valve that is used for removing the waste that is there, sediments that is there collected inside the boiler shell. So these are the individual parts of the boiler, that is Lancashire boiler. That is in the front view. So you come back here, you can see this is the opening. So this is a rear exit passage. So rear exit passage. It will be almost a building like construction, so on which the boiler drum will be placed. So rear exit passage. So then come to the top view. So top view, you can see this bottom channel is there. So this is the projection from the bottom channel, and you can see this is one opening at the top, this other opening at the bottom. This is called as the side channel number 1, and this is called as the side channel, bottom one, side channel number 2. And if you come to the side view, so these are the flue tubes. Flue tubes are nothing but the tubes, you can observe that. So we will be having 2 tubes. So here in the front view, you can see only observe one tube. If you look from the top, both the tubes are visible. That's why it is shown as 2 tubes here. And once again the boiler shell, circular in cross section. Then these are the side channels, side channel 1, side channel 2. And then this is the bottom channel, what is there here. So these are the different parts that are there in the Lancashire boiler. So coming to the construction, once we know the construction, then it's working. So it's working. So you open the boiler, it is manhole, and 3/4 of its volume will be filled with water. So already tube is there, flue tube that is there inside the boiler drum. So 3/4 of the boiler drum will be filled with water, and the hole is closed. So then you can see that coal is filled inside the furnace grates and coal is ignited. So once coal is ignited, combustion takes place and hot gases are released. So combustion takes place and hot gases are released. So this direction of flow of hot gases. So if you want to understand that completely, you should have the 3 views. That is the purpose of drawing 3 views. So here coal is burnt, combustion takes place, coal is burnt and hot gases are released. So this hot gases starts from this end of the tube and come to this end of the tube. That is from the front end to the rear end. So rear exit passage, this is the rear exit passage. So this is the front, this is the rear end. So starts from the front end. So once heat is given out, that is hot gases starts moving from front end to the rear end. So that is when it moves from the front to rear end, it comes in contact with the water. So tube is there, water is circulated around it. Water is circulated around it. So as the flue gases moves from the front to rear end, it comes in contact with the water that is there around the tubes. So 3 stages movement of this flue gases will be there in this particular type of boiler. In the first stage, it moves from the front to rear end. Then you can see here it comes down, here it comes here. So it is simple like this. It moves through a channel, and then it gets deviated. So it is, if you have got a channel like this, so it moves like this and it gets deviated. So after in the first stage, it moves from the front end to the rear end. So then it moves down, you can observe here. Then come back to this figure. So here, so this is a portion. So this is a projection. So it moves from, in the second stage, it moves from the rear end to the front end. In the second stage, it travels from the rear end to the, that is once again to the front end. So then once again it gets deviated. You can see this is the, observe the arrow mark direction. It gets deviated here, and then it moves through the side channel. It comes like this, it comes down and then deviates and the side channel. So simple like that. So this is, if you take, this is a boiler shell, moves from the front to rear end. So then comes down from, in the second stage, from rear end to front end. Then it gets deviated. One portion or a small portion of hot gases move in this direction. Side channel 2, this is side channel 1. Simple like this. So front to rear end, rear to front end. In the third stage, it gets deviated. You can see the direction, arrow mark. So portion of the hot gases deviate like this. Portion gets deviated like this. So this is side channel 2, this is side channel 1. So it moves once again from the front end to the rear end in the side channel. So 3 stages of movement, that is flow of hot gases, will be there. So purpose is that the entire volume of water will be coming in contact with the hot gases. So in the previous case, baffle plate was placed. So here the same purpose. So design of the boiler is such that, so movement, the hot gases movement is it is designed in 3 stages: front to rear, rear to front, then once again in the side channel from front to rear end. So it deviates here, it moves here. So and finally it comes out, this opening is there, finally it comes out and goes out to the chimney. So during this movement, so the hot gases comes in contact with the that is flue gases or hot gases. So temperature of water gets increased, it gets evaporated and steam is produced. So steam gets stored at the top portion of the boiler shell. So as I told, 3/4 of the volume will be filled with water, so remaining will be empty. So the steam that is generated from water, so it gets filled in the top portion of the boiler drum. So once the required temperature and pressure is attained, so that is once we reach once we get the steam that is at the required pressure, so once again we got a steam stop valve. So it is opened and steam is extracted from the boiler drum. So once it is extracted, so the level of water comes down. Once again water is filled into the boiler drum and the second cycle of operation continues. You can observe in the side view also. These are the flue tips. So this is the this area where hot gases are filled. This is the portion where water is filled. So here this is the side channel, it moves down, side channel 1, side channel 2 and it comes out. So this during this movement, so 3 movements, front to rear end, then rear to front end, then once again in the side channel, so from front to rear end. So that is how the movement of the flue gases will be there, due to which hot gases comes in contact with water and steam is generated. So and cycle repeats. So until we get the required quantity of steam. So that's about the working of Lancashire boiler. It is horizontal, internally fire, stationary, natural circulation type of boiler. So next topic, what we will be discussing about 2 parameters, that is boiler mountings and accessories. So first of all, we should know what is boiler mountings. So boiler mountings are which are fixed on the boiler in order to ensure its safety. Mountings. So name itself tells that mountings. It is mounted on the boiler. So in order to ensure that boiler works smoothly, in order to ensure smooth working of the boiler, these mountings are placed. So these are called as boiler mountings. So what are the different type of boiler mountings we can come across? So just to list out, so first one is water level indicator. So I told that boiler mountings are mounted on the boiler in order to ensure its safety. So first one is water level indicator. So water level indicated in the previous type of boiler, that is Babcock and Wilcock boiler. So we had seen that water level indicator was there. So what is the function of water level indicator is nothing but indicate the level of water, indicate the level of the water in the boiler. Now if water level indicator is not there as a mounting, so what will happen? So as water gets evaporated, so and hot gas steam are produced, so water level comes down. So every boiler will be designed to a certain water level. If water level comes down below that level, so there are chances that the boiler may get damaged. So hence, so level of water should be regularly monitored. That is the function of this water level indicates. It indicates what is the level of water. So whether it is above the required mark. So once if it comes down below the required mark, a signal can be given. That is, it in turn ensures the safety. Then pressure gauge. Now in function of the boiler is to generate steam. So once steam is generated, so steam will be at required different pressures. So before extracting the steam, I should know what is the pressure of the steam that is generated inside the boiler drum. So for that, so this pressure gauge is used. So if through the pressure gauge I can know what is the pressure. If it is if the pressure is at the required level, so I can stop the boiler, then I can extract steam. That is the function of this pressure gauge. third one, safety valve. So safety valve, so name itself ensures that it is called a safety valve. So here you can see the steam stop valve and safety valve in this particular boiler. So safety is nothing but ensure the safety of the boiler. Now if by mistake, if there is observation is not made, so the boiler generates steam and it exceeds the pressure, so there are chances the boiler drum may burst down. So in that situations, the safety valve automatically opens, and steam will be let out to atmosphere until it comes to the normal condition. That is the function of safety valve, ensures the safety of the boiler. Then steam stop valve. So here you can observe the steam stop valve. So function is, using this valve I can extract the steam that is generated inside the boiler whenever required, and then I can close the valve. Extracting steam, that is steam stop valve. So mounting, it is once again one more type of mounting. Then feed check valve. So feed check valve or feed valve, it is also called as feed valve. Now water, in case of it is water tube boiler, water has to be fed into the boiler drum, and same here also. So for feeding water into the boiler, I should have a channel. For feeding water into the boiler, I should have a channel or opening. So that function is done by this feed check valve, or it is also called the feed valve, that is used for filling water into the boiler drum. Then blow off valve. So blow off valve, you can observe here blow off valve is there. So blow off valve is nothing but, so water is filled inside the boiler drum. So water will carry impurities. That impurities or sediments settle down in this portion of the boiler drum. So which is using the blow off valve, valve is opened and water, the sediments that are collected can be removed. And one more function of this blow off valve is that, so in order to empty the boiler drum, whenever cleaning purpose is required, boiler drum has to be emptied. So this valve is opened and water is let out, so that person can get inside and cleaning purpose, cleaning can be done. That is blow off valve. Then one more is fusible plug. So fusible plug we had seen in case of Babcock and Wilcock boiler. So fusible plug, once again during emergencies when the pressure and temperature exceeds inside the boiler drum, so fusible plug, so it gets melted, and the steam is let out from the boiler drum until it come down to the required standard level. That is the function of fusible plug, what we have seen in case of Babcock and Wilcock boiler. So these are the different boiler mountings. Water level indicator, which indicates the water inside the boiler drum. Pressure gauge, which indicates the pressure of steam that is generated inside the boiler drum. Safety valve, ensures the safety of the boiler. Then steam stop valve, used to extract steam that is generated inside the boiler drum. Feed check valve or feed valve, it is used to fill water inside the boiler drum. Feed water. Then blow off valve to remove the water from the boiler and sediments that are collected at the boiler bottom surface. Then fusible plug, once again ensure the safety. So these are all extra mountings. Mountings are nothing but extra fittings. In simple way can say that extra fittings that are fitted to the boiler to ensure its smooth working. Then come to one more aspect is accessories. Accessories, what are accessories? So accessories are not part of the boiler, any boiler take. So accessories are that are externally fitted to ensure or to increase its efficiency. Now if you take any vehicle, it will have certain efficiency. So if I want to increase the efficiency, I can add certain accessories. So that is not part of the boiler, remember. So that are accessories are nothing but additional things that are fitted. So additional fittings, we can say in simple way, additional fittings that are fitted to the boiler in order to increase its efficiency. So every boiler will be designed to certain efficiency. If I want to improve its efficiency, I can go for accessories. If not, I can eliminate these accessories also. So what are the accessories? So first one is economizer. What is economizer? So here you can observe that hot gases, after it passing through three stages, it comes out or it goes out to the through the chimney to the atmosphere. So still some amount of heat will be present in that hot gases. So I can utilize that hot gases. So I can utilize that temperature. I can once again feed back. I can once again feed back into the boiler drum. Economizer. So what is the advantage? So if I feed this same these hot gases into the boiler drum for the second cycle of operation, so water will be heated quickly. So temperature of water rises, so that steam generation will be faster. That's why it's called economizer. So economizer. So unnecessary, it is going to atmosphere. That I am utilizing the same hot gases. So that is called as economizer. Air preheater. So air preheater means air that is entering into the boiler drum is preheated. Before entering the boiler drum itself, it is heated. So what is the function of air preheater? So you can observe this boiler. So inside the boiler drum, so the coal is burnt and hot gases are fed. So air preheater, so which extract the heat that is present, that is coming out from the boiler shell, and it can fed into the boiler shell. So which increases the temperature of hot gases, Economizer increases the temperature of water inside the boiler drum, if it is a water tube boiler. Air preheater increases the temperature, so that air that is coming out from the chimney, if it is fed back into the boiler, so the temperature of air inside this fire tube increases. So in turn, so efficiency increases. Then superheater. So superheater we had seen in case of Babcock and Wilcock boiler. So what is superheated steam? So superheated steam is the steam that is that we get after steam crosses the saturation temperature. So when water is heated, it reaches the boiling temperature. Once it crosses the boiling temperature, steam is released. So after boiling temperature, we will be having saturation temperature. So after saturation temperature, if further there is rise in temperature, that is the steam what we get at that stage is called superheated steam. So we have seen U-tube in case of Babcock and Wilcock boiler. So if necessary, so that particular superheater can be fitted into the boiler drum. Then steam separator. You can see that whether it's a water tube boiler or steam that is fire tube boiler. So boiler drum 3/4 of the will be filled in water. So remaining will be separated. For that is steam in order to fill the steam that is generated. Now between the surface of the water and the steam, so there should be a separator. So thin separator which separates the water surface and the steam surface. Otherwise there are chances of both them mixing out. So that is the function of this steam separator. Now if steam separator is not there, if steam separator is not present, so then there are chances, so water bubbles may mix up with steam and steam may mix up with water. So whatever steam we are getting from the steam stop well will be not of the required quality. So that is where steam separator is used. Then feed pump. So we have discussed in classification of boiler, natural circulation boiler and it is forced circulation boiler. So forced circulation boiler, so there we should have a pump. So water is pumped into the boiler drum at the required pressure. Water is pumped into the boiler drum at the required pressure. That is called as feed pump. So when it is fed at a required pressure, so the steam generation process will be faster, which in turn increases the efficiency. So these are the different accessories that are fitted to the boiler, and similarly mountings that are fitted to the boiler. So this is about the boiler mountings and accessories. Next, we can just classify, we can identify the differences between water tube boiler and fire tube boiler. So just to list out differences, so water tube boiler is one where water is circulated inside the tubes, fire tube boiler is one where hot gases is circulated inside the tube. So water is circulated and hot gases circulated. This is the first difference we can identify. Second one, both, that is water tube boiler, as I told in the previous session, that is used in thermal power plants. So whereas this water tube fire tube boiler, example a Lancashire boiler, it is used in textile industry. It is used in textile and chemical industry. That is one more difference. Then third difference what we can identify is that water tube boiler is one where external firing is done. So whereas fire tube boiler is one where firing is done inside the boiler shell. So internally fired, and next one is externally fired. Then the fourth difference is that the pressure of the steam, in case of water tube boiler, so high pressure steam is generated. So high pressure steam is generated. That's why it is used in thermal power plants. So whereas fire tube boiler, the pressure will be medium level pressure is generated. So that is one more difference between water tube and fire tube boiler. But both are stationary type of boiler. So whereas differences is, one is water is circulated, in other hot gases circulated. Second one used in thermal power plant, whereas fire tube is used in textile and chemical industry. Then third one, firing. So firing is externally in water tube boiler. In fire tube, so firing is done, that is internally. So these are the few of the differences we can identify between the two types, water tube boiler and fire tube boiler. Example for water tube boiler is Babcock and Wilcox. Example for fire tube boiler, what we discussed, that is Lancashire boiler. So this is about the boilers. What is boiler? Then importance of boiler, how we can define a boiler, classification of boiler, and in turn we have discussed in detail the construction of two types of boiler, that is a Babcock and Wilcox boiler, and second one what we discussed today, that is a Lancashire boiler. And the last topic, boiler mountings. What is boiler mountings? What is boiler accessories? What are the different boiler mountings? Its functions. What are different boiler accessories? Its functions. And last part, differences between an water tube boiler and fire tube boiler.